Well, mining giant Rio Tinto says it remains committed to its planned expansion of its iron ore operations in the Pilbara, despite the global economic uncertainty, which has other miners reviewing their capital expenditure. Rio's confidence is based on its view of China, where it disagrees with those who see major problems ahead for the world's second biggest economy. Andrew Robertson reports.
The world's biggest miner, BHP Billiton, is openly talking about winding back its planned $80 billion capital expenditure program as the crisis in Europe threatens the global economic outlook and sends commodity prices down. Rio Tinto, on the other hand, is upbeat, particularly about its huge iron ore operations in the Pilbara.
Our current Pilbara nameplate capacity is 230 million tonnes, expanding to 283 million tonnes in 2013. And we plan further expansions to 353 million tonnes by the first half of 2015.
A big reason why Rio Tinto is standing by its expansion program is its confidence in China's economic growth story, even as new data shows manufacturing in China is continuing to slow.
Rio Tinto's view is that Chinese GDP for this year will be around 8%. A little bit up on where the Chinese themselves think that it'll be.
Looking past any immediate economic worries and out into the longer term, Sam Walsh says all the signs are that demand for iron ore will dramatically increase.
As China continues its urbanisation and industrialisation, and as India and Indonesia, the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, the former Soviet Union, Middle East, Brazil, pretty well all developing regions in the world go through the same urbanisation. Steel is going to be a very important ingredient, and iron ore is absolutely fundamental there.
On the issue of China, it's not just its economy Mr Walsh has confidence in, but its ability to innovate. As a former car industry executive, he believes China will be the country that invents a commercially viable electric car.
They've certainly done it very well with electric bikes, and the technology is sort of readily transferable.
Sharing the platform with Sam Walsh was former Future Fund boss David Murray, who was forthcoming on the Australian car industry and its continued government handouts.
If companies become dependent on subsidisation over long periods of time, there's no incentive to really get stuck into the sort of productivity initiative that's required to be competitive when you don't have scale and you don't have some of the other attributes of foreign competitors.
Back in the mining fast lane, Sam Walsh gave a hint that all the talk of Australia having a two-speed economy doesn't go down too well in the mining industry.
We can't just be seen as a separate standalone activity operating in remote regions. We are a very important part of the communities we operate, but we're also a very important part of the Australian economy.
Unusually these days for a senior executive speaking publicly, Sam Walsh made no mention of industrial relations. That may change at Rio Tinto though if it finds itself facing the same industrial problems as BHP, where more than 3,000 coal miners walked off the job to begin a week-long strike at the Bowen Basin mine in Queensland.